Hello and welcome to the Direct Selling Success Podcast. I'm Anna Green and I'm here to share with you tips, tricks and training on network marketing done right. Thank you for listening. Hello and welcome to this edition of the podcast. I'm Anna Green and I'm here with a special guest today, Rainie Moss. Welcome,
Hello.
Rainie.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. We've been trying to plan this for ages, haven't we? Get the date in the diary. We finally managed it. So, Rainie, I'd love for you to tell everybody who you are and what you do, but also what you used to do, your past direct sales history.
Oh, okay. I'm Rainie Moss and I'm a health coach. I help people to live and thrive after quite significant weight change without fear, shame or blame, because that has been massive in the last few decades of toxic diet culture, etc. And I do that on a one-to-one basis. I have some courses and I do some in-person events as well. But my direct selling experience was I was a team leader for Ann Summers. No longer direct selling, unfortunately, but I absolutely loved it with a really big team. And it was my life. It took over my whole life. I loved it.
And you were really successful with it.
Yeah, I was. It got me from having less than no money and being on food bank for 6 months to literally just living a really great life. I won incentives to Morocco. I went to Mallorca. We had big conferences and won awards and money and made loads of friends and had a really good time.
You also had some influence within the company as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I joined at a time when Ann Summers, if you ask someone to have an Ann Summers party, they'd be going, oh, no, that's not for me. So I thought, okay, social media was just coming around. This was like 2014, maybe a little bit earlier than that. And Facebook was the in thing. So they hadn't gone over from the traditional methods into social media. So I opened up a group because they were new and I started doing lives in there and this, that and the other. And I took it over there. But the sizing was the problem. And it was, if you were like a size 8 to 12, possibly a 14, you'd be able to get stuff. I'm sure everyone remembers that kind of thing. And at the time, I was like a size 24. And I was like, I can't wear anything and promote it because it isn't there. And there were some discussions going around at head office. And I was part of that. And they brought me in and kind of said, you know, what do you think we should have? And we got them to then go up to a size 44H and to go up to a size 24, 26. It wasn't just me. There was a team of people, different client. There was customers. There was different leaders and ambassadors from the beginning right up to regional leaders. But yeah, we got all that going and swimwear and the inclusion and diversity and just getting training done for people to be using social media properly so they could earn more money.
Yeah, so two very different things. One, the social media side, because that was huge at the time. You know, when was this? Like 2017, 18? Earlier?
It was earlier, 2015, 2016. So like stories weren't even on Insta.
Yeah. Facebook
Can you imagine that not being
invented.
a thing? Yeah. And it was Facebook groups had just started.
Yeah.
So I opened up a group. And then anyone I did a party for, I added them all to the group and nurtured them and did little discounts and live demonstrations of new products, which people was like, oh, I can have a look at a product of a sex toy without actually going to a party. So it's all like anonymous and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
So actually thinking about this now, I have an international audience and Ann Summers, I'm not entirely sure how international that might be. So it might be worth at this point just explaining what it is or was.
Oh, okay. So Ann Summers as a company still exists in the UK and online. And it is predominantly, it was a sexy lingerie and sex toy marital aid company. And they would do it by holding parties in your home with your friends, and an ambassador like myself would go in and demonstrate the toys and answer any questions, make sales. And they used to play games and do raffles, and I used to host big events and stuff. And that's what it is. America does have its equivalent. Can't remember the name of it as we speak, but they do have an equivalent version of the home parties with sex toys and stuff. But now they do like a lot of wellness things as well. So
because it really gave people the freedom to talk about this sort of stuff, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it gave traditionally the housewife at home. It was a female only environment. I kind of broke some rules and changed that, and brought it a bit more into today's society. But it was particularly the housewife at home, learning about their body, like sexual empowerment for women was huge. It was all about that, and giving someone an avenue that's safe for them to talk to people that had knowledge and without judgment or fear.
Yeah. And this is one thing that I find really interesting about the network marketing industry in general, is that it's never just about the product. It's about the bigger picture. It's about the impact. Whatever company you are with, it is about making a difference. And everybody I talk to in the industry, that's what it's all about, especially with the helping people that are like themselves, but also like helping people get a better life from earning the money within the team as well.
Yeah, that's it. And it isn't just about asking your mates to buy your products.
No.
You know, it is genuinely providing an answer to somebody's problem. I mean, when I was with Ann Summers towards the end of my journey with them, they were bringing in, because Jacqueline Gold, who owned Ann Summers, she's passed now. She had breast cancer twice, and unfortunately it took her. But she was very much through her cancer journey. She realised that sexual activity and the chemotherapy and things like that dried out her body, and she didn't feel like the woman she always did feel like. So she thought, well, what else? I'm not the only one. So she went out and found and developed products to help women with pH balance lubrication, with all these different things. So, and to make them feel like women again. So it is about solving the problem of the people that are with you and how to make them feel that actually that's going to really improve my situation, make me feel good. It's going to solve the problem. It's going to make it easier. You know, it's not just here's this thing, buy it. It's 10 quid.
Yeah, totally. So this leads me on to your journey, because Ann Summers to where you are now with the health coaching, and it's a very unique and much needed niche of health coaching. How did that happen?
Yeah, they're very different, aren't they? And people are probably thinking, okay, how does this link up together? So as I said, I was a size 24, 26 in UK sizing. So that was around, I weighed in at around about 149, 150 kilograms, which I'm sorry for American cousins, I don't know what that is in poundage.
Times it by 2.2.
Oh, there you go, thank you. But it was pretty much around about 24 stone, I think it is. So, you know, I was a big girl. I had absolutely no issues with my weight, other than the fact that it was caused by other medical conditions that I had and different medications. And over the course of a few years, and also the course of my Ann Summers journey, my symptoms got worse. So I've already said that I'd hold events of like 200 people, or I'd go to little parties, but that took a lot of energy from me. Running my team of over 150 people took energy from me. And what would happen I would go and do these events, a couple of hours. If I did 2 in a night, you know, that's 6 hours worth of being on my feet, chatting, you know, mingling around with people, getting to know these people. Coming home, yes, I'd earned the money, but then I found that I was having to take 2 to 3 days to recover. So what was I need to have a bit of a rest today and then pick it up again the next day, was becoming a day. If I did a massive evening event, it would be 3 or 4 days. And then the kind of compound effect of that meant that eventually I couldn't look after myself. So like my team, I couldn't look after them properly. And then my health suffered because I'd be in bed in pain, fatigued, tired, couldn't give 100% of me. So I went to the GP and said, look, this is affecting my work. You know, I was doing really well, but as we all know within direct selling, if you don't sell, you don't earn. And I wasn't at a high enough position to have been having too much passive income where I could just like sit back and enjoy it, because I couldn't look after my team properly. So if I'm not nurturing my team, they're not doing well, they're not looking after themselves, they're not earning, I'm not earning. We all know how the model works. So I went to my GP and they said, you need to lose weight, because that's what they saw. Long story short, it took me 4 years and I ended up with bariatric surgery. So that's a gastric bypass surgery. Nothing else was working. It took 4 years. So I had my surgery and I was still in Ann Summers at this time, and I marketed myself as the plus size planner. Everyone knew me as the plus size planner. Everything on my rail would go up to a size 24, 26. I'd hold plus size parties. It was fun and I loved it. But obviously then as the weight started coming off, I wasn't the plus size planner anymore. And new customers were like, well, what do you know? So that was really hard. My existing customers were great. They kept buying, all that was fun. We still had parties. And as my health started to get better because the weight was coming off, that had its own issues around my confidence, around I was in more pain because all the pressure had come off of all my joints and I had to exercise more, but there was no support.
And I suppose the identity side of things as well.
Yeah.
Massive.
It was huge.
I don't think people who have not been through this get it.
No.
At all. Because why, playing devil's advocate, why on earth would you be having trouble accepting the fact that you're now thin? Isn't that a good thing?
Well, I was quite happy being the size I was. I was confident. I knew who I was. I had no issues around anything. I loved who I was and my body, and my husband loved me and everything was great. And up until the point where my health started to decline. And I was not expecting none of the things that I used to sell would fit me properly, because then I had loose skin. So like I was conscious of taking photos and posting them to show people what they look like, because I literally looked like a melted candle in a pair of pants, whereas before I was a big girl, but I had nice shape, I had cracking boobs, and it really looked great. And I was confident with that. When that's gone, and the person that I've seen in the mirror and online for the past 6 years is not that person, how did I navigate that? And when I went to see if there was any help, nothing. So I had my surgery, and after 6 weeks I had a checkup, 6 months I had a checkup, 12 months I had a checkup, and it was just to make sure that there wasn't any complications with the surgery. But there was no preparation for my identity, my confidence, how to live well, how to nourish my body. So I then became ill from not knowing how to manage life after weight loss. And that massively affected my team.
I bet it did.
It literally massively affected it. We had COVID then as well, which peaked massively. I done so well over that. I think a lot of direct selling did.
Yeah.
But after that, when all these things started coming in, that's what really, really affected me. And because again, I wasn't looking after myself and didn't know how to, my team started dropping off. And then my business that I built over 7 years, 8 years, it was just too much like hard work. So I focused on me. I went, right, I need to learn how to live well. I re-qualified in loads of stuff I'd done in 20, 30 years ago. And I started looking after myself. And then everyone started going, oh, I had a gastric surgery. How can you doing so well? And then my niche now is people that have lost weight, whether it's through weight loss medications, because they really do not provide post-medical support for that.
As much as they say they do, they don't, do they?
No. A lot of it is online and is an app. As we all know, we might download an app, look at it a couple of times. None of us do it.
Nope. It's not the information people need, is it? They've got
even
the information.
The NHS say, oh yeah, we'll run a clinic, but they don't actually have the funding for it. And they will get you in to see your GP or your prescriber, whether it's for a pharmacy. You'll have your height, weight, blood pressure done. As long as that's all right, we'll see you later. See you next time. There's nothing to help support you to live well and then be able to keep it off without having that niggling fear, like all the other diet cultures of different slimming clubs where you're constantly, oh, I'm on track or I'm off track. I'm in a position now where I don't even think about it because it's all second nature. I know what agrees with me and what doesn't. I know what I need to do to thrive. I know what exercise is safe for me to do. I know all of these things. And it isn't something that is at the forefront of my mind every single day anymore because it is programmed into me and that's how I live my life now. And that's what I teach other people.
And what difference has that made to you and your identity and your confidence and all those things?
Oh, it's given me clarity because I didn't know why I was feeling the way I was. Like you said, oh, you're thin now, you should be happy. But that's a society thing.
Totally.
You know, imagine, I mean, it's any major life change, to be honest with you. Something dramatic happens and all you can see is this one thing. You can't see life after it. So, and there's nothing to prepare you for that either.
No.
So how are you, when you've, let's use weight loss as the example, when you've done it for whatever reason, it doesn't even matter. And it's nobody's business why you decide to either use a weight management medication or have a surgery. You want to lose weight, so you find the tool to use. No one else's business, to be honest. But the reaction of other people is what gives people the problems and the doubt and the fear, because they automatically assume that you're going to be happy. And the visibility, you know, the visibility that you have, all of a sudden, what you eat in is everyone's business.
Yeah.
How much you weigh is everyone's business. It's like, well, no, sod off. You should. It's not. And it's the only talking point everyone ever speaks to you about.
I bet it is.
You shouldn't be guided by the scale. It doesn't matter what you weigh. Once you've used these tools, weight is, unless you're having a medication that has to be prescribed like an anaesthetic, you shouldn't have to worry about your weight anymore.
And like you said, you were perfectly happy with your weight. The only reason that you did something about it was because it was causing issues.
Yep.
And that was, you were happy.
Yeah.
So
I was, you know, I was quite happy. I was quite content with who I was and what I looked like, and I dressed really nice, you know. Yeah. It was afterwards I had the problems.
Yeah. So we talk about it in a short space like this, going from where you were having the surgery to where you are now. It's not that easy a journey.
No, it's not. It's 2019 I had my surgery.
Yeah. And what we're now 2026. When did you start to feel like yourself again?
Honestly, about 3 years ago.
Yeah. So what's that? 4 years of
4 years of self-doubt.
Yeah.
And not knowing if I can do what I did before, not knowing if people would trust me because I'd changed. Yeah. You know, I'd lost friendship group. My friendship groups changed. People I worked with changed. I was no longer the fat friend. So some people saw me as a threat. Or, oh, look at her. Who does she think she is? You know, everything.
Do you think you changed?
That's a good question. I think I've changed in the respect of my eyes have been opened to other people and their perceptions of things and what they value. I'm very careful now. Whereas before, I wore my heart on my sleeve. I was quite trusting. Now I really have to sit with things and like feel it, because when I was told that I needed to lose the weight in those 4 years, I had a lot of people trying to sell me snake oil and took advantage of my situation and afterwards. And that really wasn't great. It was just everyone in my inbox going, "Oh, you've lost loads of weight. Here, buy my supplements." That's not the way to do it.
People. No, and that's a big thing within this industry that I am on a mission to change, as you know.
Yeah. I am. Yeah. That is not the way to help people when they are looking for things like that. No. Because everyone's individual. There are some things that I can't take anymore. There are some things
and there's vulnerabilities, which
exactly. So that's something I'm very, very conscious of, is not taking advantage of people that are in the situation I was in, because that happened to me. So I think that's what's changed me. But as a person, fundamentally inside, I just feel like I've rediscovered myself again.
That's lovely.
So inside, I literally feel like the person I was before my surgery. So, but it's took me nearly 10 years, right?
Yeah, and it's a journey, and I think, like you say, life-changing things happen, and it does change us. And even if life-changing things don't happen, I think we develop as people along a route in that space of time anyway. We grow as people, don't we?
Yeah, and society grows and changes and needs and wants change. And, I think if you don't change with it, and you don't keep your options open, and you're not flexible with how you do things, that would be a downfall as well. And I think part of that was what happened to me with my team. Although I was at the forefront of everything that was new, and that's what catapulted me into stuff, I was like, well, this is the way I'm doing it now, and I've got to keep pushing. I've got to keep pulling through. I've got to just work through the pain, because that's the way I do it. And if you're not prepared to sit back and go, okay, I need to adapt for a little while, or delegate, which I wasn't very good at doing, had to do all the things myself, then that can have a massive impact on what you do as well.
It can, totally. So if there's somebody in the position that you were in, what would you say to them right now?
In the position
of where you were, you'd had your surgery, or you were going through the transition as such, I suppose, of being looked at in one way and feeling a certain way, and then being looked at in another way and feeling another way, and not really knowing who you are or what to do.
I'd say just take a step back a minute and have a look at what is important to you, and focus on how you can make that happen. Because no one else pays your bills. No one else's opinion really matters to you and your life. And every single person is individual. Your circumstances are individual. You can all work for the same company. You can all do exactly the same thing, follow the same steps. But it's you as the person that brings that to life. And taking that step back and just thinking about what is the main thing I need to change about me. Well, not necessarily change. What's the one thing I can work on right now to move me that little bit further forward? What is it? And then do that. Because some people think they need to lose weight. Some people think they need to earn more money. Some people think they need to decorate their house, or they need to get a new car, or they need to learn a new skill. Where actually, go deeper than that and just think, what do I need to do to make me better? And I had to take some time out. I had to program in every single day for me just to have 10 minutes just have a cup of tea, not be disturbed, just go, okay, let's center myself and move forward. And that worked for me. I did that for like a month, and then I had a bit more clarity. And I was like, okay, what's the next thing I need to do? Because my brain was so busy with trying to do all the things.
Yeah, and trying to cope with everything that was going on with everything.
Everything, and just having input from everybody. And I was like, no, just put your barriers up just for a little bit and just decide what it is that you want to do to move you forward, and just do the one thing.
Yeah, the one thing. And there's something I talk about an awful lot, and you've probably heard me say it. Stop shoulding yourself. I should be doing this. Somebody else is doing it this way. I should be doing this. I should be eating that thing. I should be taking that medication. I should be doing. What would you say to that? Especially around your particular health coaching after surgery.
Well, this is the thing. After surgery and weight management medication, the big thing is I should be eating this amount of protein. But then people forget, what about your fibre? What about your hydration? What about your exercise? What about your mindfulness? What about, looking after yourself? What about dealing with your relationships? It doesn't matter what the majority is saying. It's not a should. You shouldn't do the shoulds. It's the what do you need to do for you, isn't it? It's so that the true you can come out and people can see how brilliant you are.
Yeah, I love that. So I know there'll be people watching that are in a situation that I know you can help them with. So they're taking the jabs, or they've had the medication or the surgery, and they're going through this right now. What's your biggest advice to those people? Like what one thing that they should that you say
one thing they can do?
Yeah,
throw your scales in the bin, because weight doesn't matter.
Can I applaud that?
Literally, there's like a short webinar that I do, and it is there's a slide on it that says chuck your scales in the bin. You don't need them. Weight weight is not the main goal. It is just the start of your journey. Once the weight's gone, it's gone. How are you then going to live and thrive going forward? The weight is just the obstacle. Yeah. So forget about that for now, and let's concentrate on your health. Then keeping the weight off is a side effect of good health.
And maintainable.
Yeah, maintainable. That's absolutely it. We're not talking about going to the gym 20 times a day and, running on a treadmill for an hour at a time. Everyone is different. But absolutely focus on your health and well-being, and the weight will take care of itself.
Yeah. And I suppose that goes for anybody who is feeling any sort of health condition or like anything related to, not feeling right.
If your body doesn't function properly, your work, your company, your business will not. It needs to be treated as a compulsory business strategy.
Yes.
Because if you do not, and something happens to you, like it happened to me, it will fall apart. And yes, some people go, oh, well, I've got these people that can pick it up. But it's no good if you're not there at all, is it? You want to be able to enjoy what you've built and your legacy and what you're doing for your family, not just have it there for them to enjoy if you're not there.
Yeah.
So like you say, it doesn't matter whether it's weight, whether it's heart health, whether it's, an injury or a chronic illness. You have to
mental health.
Yeah, mental health. You have to focus on the health and well-being, not just keep taking the tablets and hope it all works out for the best.
Yeah, working yourself into the ground. Working yourself into the ground. And I think it's a thing that a lot of business owners, and especially in the direct sales and network marketing industry, forget that you are the main thing in the business. If you don't look after your health, you can't serve other people. You can't look after those other people. You can't make the money as effectively as you could.
And the CEO of that company that you are direct selling for, I would bet my bottom dollar that they invest in their health and they take the time to look after themselves, and they eat well, and they have coaches, and they invest in their mental health and their well-being. Because if not, they wouldn't be able to run their company. But they are not sat there worrying about you and what you're doing, because they will still be earning the money, whether you look after yourself or not, but you won't.
Yeah, very important. Very important. So, Rainie, where can people come and find you if they want to get any support with this, ask you anything?
Well, if they want to, they can connect with me on Instagram. It's.Rainie.
So Rainie, spell it out for us.
its.raine. Or they can find me on my website, and there's a contact button on there, and that's thereclaimexperience.com.
I will put both of those in the show notes anyway. We'll get them out to everybody. Yes. And is there one last thing you would like to share your wisdom?
Share my wisdom. It is literally what I've been going on about for this whole time. And it is, you need to prioritize you. Look after you and your health as a compulsory business strategy, as part of the whole framework for you running your business, because it will pay you back like so much, because you'll have the energy and you'll have the health resources to be able to do whatever it is you want to do.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you for having me.
You've been an absolute star.
Thank you, my lovely.